COLIN MAFHAM, Secretive Southampton on a downwards spiral with Pellegrino under pressure. What's the betting another Premier League manager could be out of a job before the year is out? And more to the point, who would bet against that being Mauricio Pellegrino at Southampton? I don't think even the suave Argentinian would argue that the pressure is now on him and his players big time after a miserable thumping by Spurs on Boxing Day, and the prospect of a similar humbling at Old Trafford on Saturday. Let's face it, Southampton haven't exactly torn up any trees since he took over from the sacked Claude Puel little more than 6 months ago, and he and his side suddenly look distinctly short on confidence. On the face of it you could say Pellegrino, as former manager of Spanish sides Alaves and Valencia, and Argentina's Estudiantes and Independiente, looked a good choice to take Southampton nearer to the top 4 than the bottom 4. And after a romantic and relatively quick rise from Division 1 to the Premier League, you would have thought it is a truly inspirational tale worth telling. But it hasn't quite worked out that way, has it? As much as anything because of an inexplicable mystery surrounding a club which for some reason keeps its cards very close to its chest, despite having such a heartwarming success story to tell. One would have thought that Senor Pellegrino and his staff would have been shouting from the rooftops after Chinese property billionaire Jishin Gao and his daughter Nelly bought an 80% stake in the club a couple of months back with the promise of the sort of investment that would help hasten Saints' progress towards the Premier League's upper reaches rather than wallowing in something akin to footballing anonymity. No one has hardly seen head nor tail of the new people since. Or heard or read much about Southampton either for that matter. Their national profile continues to be more like the Vanarama National League than the Premier League. Enter a gentleman called Jordan Sibley, billed as the club's communications chief and a nice enough chap if and when you can actually get a word with him. But intensely secretive when it comes to promoting the interests of Southampton Football Club. While Saints rivals regularly roll out their managers and players to help further their causes, Mr. Sibley has consistently thrown a cloak of secrecy around most things Southampton FC, rarely answering media calls and keeping the rest of the country virtually in the dark about those really nice Saints as a result. The chap could, of course, be acting under orders. His bosses may, for some reason, want the club that rose from near bottom to near top to be football's worst kept secret. Hopefully not, and in the fullness of time Southampton's owners will choose a different PR course and, even though the team isn't doing all that brilliantly the moment, tell the world what a potentially exciting club they could be instead of now living in the shadows of previously lesser-known neighbours like Bournemouth and Brighton. So there you go, I've done my bit. Now it's over to you, Nelly, remember her? Plus how's this for a scandal waiting to happen? As it stands right now, Sutton United have a very real chance of winning promotion from the Vanarama National League to the Football League at the end of the season, but being relegated at the same time. And it's all because they play on an artificial pitch. Along with Bromley and Maidstone United, whose 3G surfaces are permitted at non-league level but not in the Football League, They will be forced to tear up a pitch that was okay for Arsenal to play a FA Cup match on last season and has been a financial godsend to them. If they don't, they face being dumped back down into the National League South under regulations which decree that any club which wins promotion but does not install a grass surface to comply with the FL rules will be demoted and could be fined as well. Have you ever heard of anything so daft and unfair in your life? Isn't it about time those who decide on such things realize that new age dinosaurs are nothing but a disgrace? EFL clubs will discuss whether to allow artificial pitches, but a vote on the issue is unlikely until next June.